David Adonai roi lo exar Bidot Shigar Mitseini Al Mehei Menuchot in Aleini Davkin Shovem Yanecheni Memakli Zedek Leman Shemo Am Kielek Vegeitzal Mavet Lo Idara אתה עמדי עבדך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני הערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי ושענת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה החסד ירבוני כל ימי חיי ושאבתי בבית אדוני לאור את ימי. Though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. name is Rabah from congregation Shaarey Zedek. It is my great honor to be here officiating the funeral services for Mickey Kraut, blessed man. He's also known to the Jewish people by his Hebrew name, Mordechai ben David Todah, was the son of Bill and Toby Kraut of their memory, their husband, brother Maurice, 37 years. The father, Dina Keter, Rabbi Nissen, Michael and Kim Kraut, also Marlon Slachak, Anna Korn, Shirley Slachak, Jason Olivia. The grandfather of Gary and Jay Madden, Aaron and Leah, son, Jeremy and Sarah. The great-grandfather of Jacob, Sadie, Benji, Carson, Zvi, and Lima. Mickey passed away on Wednesday, May 11th, peacefully, surrounded by family at the age of 95. The masters of Kabbalah teach that God's nature is to give. The Creator is a giver, and we are created as receivers. But our goal, however, lies in becoming like God and to become givers as well. We should all learn to give for the sake of giving. We should all learn to receive in order to give to others. Because if we are givers, we are like God. This is something extremely difficult to achieve. But it was something that Mickey Kraut excelled at. He was a giver. And as such, he accomplished a spiritual status that not too many people can attain. It was interesting. The first words Mickey's family used to describe him were kind, warm, and loving, putting everybody's needs first. And they continue. He was a man. There is a verse in the book of Exodus that reads, "And you shall be people imbued with holiness unto me." Rabbi Menachem explained the verse the following way. "And you shall be people," meaning first be a man, a person of integrity and honor, and then, and only then, you can be holy. And you shall be people imbued with holiness. You see, the rabbis proclaim Derech Eretz Kadma Torah, decency and kind behavior should precede Torah. That's why it's customary during the counting of the Omer, the 7 weeks period between the holiday of Passover and the holiday of Shabbat, to study Pirkei Avot, generally translated as ethics of our fathers. Because Pirkei Avot presents us with a series of ethical principles articulated by the rabbis for character development, moral growth, and lessons for daily living to prepare ourselves to experience the revelation of the Torah on Shalom. But Mickey already had those fine traits of character. That's why he was well known for never saying a mean word, or for avoiding useless fights, traits that made him a peace lover. But to get a better idea of the life and legacy of Mickey Kraut, I would like to invite first Dina to come to the mic to say a few words about herself. And then, after her, to Mickey's granddaughter Carrie also to come to the mic to eulogize the grandmother.
I will just briefly share my joys with the most remarkable man. Boy, was I blessed to be put in the hands of this man, my dad. So loving, kind, unconditional, and a heart larger than life. He never yelled at me or raised his voice, but certainly tried. I just couldn't. Never disappointed me, even if he thought otherwise. My dad was my pillar of strength, my confidant, my best friend. I was never worried to share or tell him my secrets. He always said, "It will be okay, Mamala, but don't do it again, my dear," with a comforting hug and smile. Daddy, I will never stop thinking or talk about you feeling with all the memories we shared. So blessed to have this longevity of life. Rest in peace, sweet Daddy. I love you forever and always. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is and I am honored to eulogize my Zedek, Maurice Kraut, better known as Mickey. Please bear with me, we have 95 years to get through. I would like to start by saying, and I know it sounds cliche, but the mold was broken after God made this man. The world is a little darker without his presence. Mickey was born April 2nd, 1927 in Poland, and then immigrated to Canada. He grew up on a farm and was very proud of where he came from. That is another word that exemplifies this man, pride. Mickey the father. Mickey was very proud of his life's greatest accomplishments, his daughter Dina and his son Michael. Dina and will always be Daddy's little girl. They shared their love of football and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Whether it be minus 30 or plus 30 sitting in the stadium or sitting in a living room, if the Bombers scored a touchdown, you knew. I remember a story when Dina and Michael were little. Mickey had bought them a new toboggan, and in his true fatherly form, they set out to Kildonan Park. One of them had to go to the bathroom, so Zeta left the toboggan against a wall outside the bathroom. They came back and there was no longer a toboggan. He was very proud of his kids, the families they went on to have, and whenever they needed him, in a split second he was there. In his later years, he loved fishing with Randy and spending his time at Bird Lake. Mickey the husband. It took him a little while, but in 1980, he met his other source of pride, his best friend and his life partner, his roadie, whom he married in 1985. He was equally as proud of this wonderful blended family they created during a time in which blended families were not common. Rhoda brought along Marlon, Shaarey, Rabah, and the rest of her family, all of whom Mickey adored. I remember when I was little, Marlon's room was always full of friends, and Mickey was always the savior when Shaarey came tumbling into the front door after a night of fun. He would do anything to protect her from her mom. A memory I will always remember was walking into 809 Airlies and heading to the basement to see Shaarey's turtles. As I was walking down the stairs, I see Mickey on all four searching for said turtles because they always escaped the tank. And he would finish that off with, "But she's a good kid." As they grew, he was proud to be on the journey along with them. He would anxiously await the arrival of Anna, Sam, and Zara when the car turned into the driveway. Mickey and Rhoda had a marriage that truly no longer exists today. It was built on kindness and respect for one another. It wasn't always rainbows and sunshine, but it was for better or worse, richer or poorer, sickness and in health, till death do they part. There was always a plate made for Mickey. He was always dressed the best, smelled the best, and this was 100% due to Rhoda, and his longevity, his 95 years, is attributed to her. I will never forget sitting in the car with my Zeta Mickey in the winter outside Ray and Jerry's waiting for Rhoda. He would always go warm up the car and bring it around. They were leaving a function, and I remember saying to him, "Why is it taking so long?" His answer, "You know Rhodey, she has lots of friends to say goodbye to. We will wait." It was this mutual respect, love, and admiration for one another that has always touched me. They were the life of the party and the last to leave the dance floor. Mickey the Zeta. This man was lucky enough to have 5 grandchildren, me, Aaron, Jeremy, Sam, and Zara, and 5 great-grandchildren, Jacob, Sadie, Benjamin, Carson, Svi, and Levi. He didn't miss a beat. He happily attended birthday parties, dance recitals, Sam and Zara's bar and bat mitzvahs, graduations, and I was lucky enough that he was able to sit at the head of the table for the bris of all my 3 boys and walk me down the aisle. With all these generations of littles, the house got loud, the center table got longer, the afikomen became more expensive, and Mickey would sit there and simply enjoy the screaming and mess that was left when we all went home. Mickey the Salesman. In the mid-1950s, he started the infamous or famous Winmore Clothing, which began in Kamsack, Saskatchewan, and went right into the heart of downtown Winnipeg. He was so proud of his schmata business. There wasn't a day he missed. I remember as a little girl walking into that store, the same deflated Easter bunnies, year after year, hanging from the ceiling, and letting me play with his antique cash register. Mickey was a salesman. He was kind and respectful to anyone walking into his store, and in the heart of downtown Winnipeg, let's just say it's interesting. Over the years, lots of people would come out of the woodwork and say, "Hey, Mickey from Winmore, Mr. Winmore." My Zeta started me off on my path of employment. He got me my first job at Burger King, where he would meet the guys every morning for his burnt toast. You would see the smoke bellowing from the roof at the Burger King of McPhillips, and I knew my Zeta was there. He also got me my second job at Canada West Boots. I was in my late teens, and this is where I saw a salesman at work. People who came in for a belt buckle would end up leaving with $300 worth of pairs of cowboy boots they probably didn't need. In my typical teenage world, I would tell him I'm bored. His response was, "Shpai and chap," spit and catch. A customer came in and said, "I'm buying boots for my daughter. She's your age. What would you wear?" My response, "Oh, I'm not into cowboy boots, so I wouldn't wear anything." Of course, this caused my Zeta to crawl under the table, but boy, did he teach me quick. Mickey loved to work and would be working until this day. Mickey the cook. From pickles to cinnamon buns to kugel to shredding thousands of potatoes and ice cream pails full of popcorn, these were Mickey's specialties. We would all come home to these wonderful items hanging from our doorknobs, and not just a few, thousands of cinnamon buns and latkes. I know that is something we will miss. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Mickey's care workers, Josie, Mel, and David, who went above and beyond the call of duty for my Zeta. Our family truly appreciates you. So Zeta, today we celebrate you and your 95 years. It is most definitely a celebration of life, but the world lost a very special man.
Thank you so much for such beautiful tribute. Beautiful tribute. May the memory of Mickey be a source of blessing and comfort. Let us all say amen. I'm going to continue now with the memorial prayer, El Maleh Rachamim. El Maleh Rachamim Shochem Bameroimim Ametze Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei Hashechina Vema'alot Kedoshim Kedoshim Uteorim Kezoyer Rakim Mazirim Edni Shemat Mordechai ben David Yitzchak Todah שהלך לעולמו בעבור שאנו מתפללים ועד הצקרת נשמתו בגן עדן בגן עדן מנוחתו לכם בלרחמים אז תראו בסדר כנב לעולמים וצרור בצרור החיים החיים את נשמתו אדוני ונחלתו וינוח ושלום על משכבו ונאמר אמן. Exalted, passionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure, the soul of Mickey Kraut, who has gone to his eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May his soul be bound up in the bond of life. Make you rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. Please join me now in the recitation of the words of comfort, the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash shmei Rabah ve'almad divrei chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei b'chai echon u'b'yom echon u'b'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala u'b'zman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehe shemei Rabah mevorach le'elam u'le'olmei olmaya u'barach v'ishtabach v'pa'ar v'tromam v'tnaseh ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה למירם ועלמה וימרו אמן. יהא למה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. עושה שלום עם רבב הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. המקום ינחם אתכם בתוך של רב לציון בירושלים. And God bless you and comfort you. And let us all say Amen. A couple of announcements. First, immediately after the funeral service is over, everyone is invited to come to the Shaarey Zedek for the meal of consolation. Just remember, Shaarey Zedek has a very strict COVID protocol. That means that whoever is coming back, you have to show your vaccination card with a piece of ID, and you have to remain masked until you take a seat on your table. And also, I'd like to announce the name of the family that Shiva is going to be private. And we have one more thing to do here, which is to participate in the burial. There is an open invitation for everyone to come forward, pick up a shovel, and to put a little bit of earth on top of Mickey's coffin. According to the rabbis, this is an act of loving kindness, and it's a beautiful way to pay a tribute to the memory. Mickey Kraut, blessed memory. I would like to invite immediate family first, and then everyone else is invited. After you do that, please feel free to return to your transportation to proceed to the meal of consolation. Thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. Have a Shabbat Shalom.